The destruction they wrought is slowly being repaired.
I think I'm going crazy because I can't tell if it's like that. I don't think it looks like that in game at the moment. The new era begins in one day. Well, today is that day. What does a new era even mean? Removing treasure hunter loot boxes is clearly one of the main things. They've also removed some in-game benefits from purchasing a membership package. Premier Artifact is being removed. Premier Vault is a monthly thing that people could do for extra experience. These little nuts and bolts called oddments you got from loot boxes are now being removed also, so I guess that store is disappearing. And with the update today, they're changing how the marketplace works and is displayed with new pricing. Marketplace is their cash shop. And with the removal of loot boxes, they're also showing off what they're planning to do for 2026. Let's have a look.
The destruction they wrought is slowly being repaired.
I think I'm going crazy because I can't tell if it's like that. I don't think it looks like that in game at the moment. It must do from today onward. So they've remade the castle. Nice. It looks good.
The wounds
Varrock
behind.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, they updated the walls. All the castles look new. It looks fresh. I like this housing kit.
Are beginning to heal.
Oh, Drainer also. I really like the new trees they're using as well. These ones over here. Let's get a smooth watch across this.
Is slowly being repaired. The wounds they left behind are beginning to heal.
Nice.
The people are returning to their everyday lives. And the allure of treasure has lost its luster.
Good riddance.
To remove the clutter and mess still left over from the strife. What was lost can never be returned, only mourned. But we can strive towards building something greater. And together, step forwards into a new era.
Oh, wow, dude, that's a beautiful picture right there. Oh, we need to check that out. Wow, look at that. It's such a fascinating image because it all looks very three-dimensional and you see so much of the landscape with it. Though the Grand Exchange being on the right there is throwing me a little bit because it should be more on the left. But I like this image a lot. It's very cool. I'm wondering if this is a new banner image they're going to be using. Interesting font too. They've taken away the metal-y futuristic looking font and turned it back into stone too, which I like.
And introducing a brand new identity for RuneScape. One that reflects both our heritage but also our ambition for the years ahead. For me, it's a symbol of renewal, of growth, and of tapping back into the essence of RuneScape at its best, doing so with a clear purpose, to deliver brilliant content that is authentically RuneScape. Experiences that are worth your time and your trust. Now, we've got a fantastic show ahead, taking a deeper look at all of the incredible content planned for 2026 and our new dedicated integrity roadmap.
Yeah, so the winter stuff's been done now. Let's see what's coming up next.
By the time this show ends and we come back online, Treasure Hunter will be gone from RuneScape and hundreds of gameplay impacting MTX items will no longer be on sale. The Road to Restoration.
Okay.
The Road to Restoration is an entirely separate set of integrity releases that sits alongside our main content roadmap for 2026. Throughout the year...
Okay, let's have a look. So starting off in the winter, UI update, new look, visual update, cosmetic toggles, and visual update to Mistlin and Ascarnia, so generally the free-to-play area of the game. In early spring, there's a world declutter, combat-style modernization, balancing the early game, and regrounding items. Wondering what regrounding items will be. And then between spring and summer, they've got daily scape overhaul, regrounding overrides, free rune metrics, and aura overhaul. Does that mean that Rune Metrics Pro is going to become free? Because the Rune Metrics base system is already free. Rune Metrics Pro has a lot of rune light features, like tracking experience per hour, that just isn't free. Aura overhaul would be great. The aura system is very archaic. It's frustrating to use. Like, you have an aura active for an hour, and then it's not possible to use for a couple hours. There's been various methods to reset that timing system, so you can keep using them if you want to, but obviously it's kind of a weird system. And then towards the end of summer, they've got Grand Exchange improvements, rebalancing mid-game, and a deep clean, whatever that is. Autumn, social improvements, Deep Clean Part 2, balancing endgame, and player avatar update. And then for the end of the year, they've got API plugin support and MTX item banishment. API plugin support, I'm very curious about. Let's hear more what they've got to say.
With these releases, we'll hit issues like daily skate pressure, early and mid-game skilling balance, visual identity, and a whole load more. And we're excited to kick off this road to restoration through 3 brand new releases going live today, right after the show.
Starting with the UI, we unveil a fresh new look.
Okay.
It's a familiar update to the UI that keeps all the functionality you need, with a cleaner, more classic and fresher look.
I do like the brown. That's the color I use in old school. I think it makes sense that both games have a similar kind of style to them.
We've also improved the default layout to make it a stronger, more versatile alternative and something that works no matter where you are in your journey. As part of this, we're reintroducing the classic circular minimap and chat box. A small but welcome nod to the RuneScape many of us grew up with.
All right.
This is just the first update in a series of iterative improvements we want to make to the UI, with many more improvements to come, working closely with all of you to take this even further.
Speaking of visuals, our second release today will also introduce Cosmetic Toggle options. This will let you selectively hide other players' worn customizations and their animation customizations at your discretion. Not a fan of wings? Hide them. If you want to authentically see what other people are wearing, no problem.
I like that.
That includes you, Timmy, with your half dragon, half adamant combo. We're not here to judge.
I like that. It's good to give people options if they want to see the cosmetics or not. Having no cosmetics in the Catalyst League RuneScape 3 did was nice. Just being able to see people's armor.
All these cosmetic toggles will release in today's update. And later this year, we'll give you even more toggle options to hide other players summoning familiar customizations too.
Last but not least, our third release is a world update for Gielinor, focused on iconic free-to-play areas like Lumbridge, Draenor, and Varrock. These areas
Looks
now
good.
match the visual standard we're establishing across the game, with more to come later this year. And in what might be one of the weirdest patch notes we've ever written, we've also updated all normal oak and willow trees across the entire game to a stronger visual standard.
They look good.
Yet more
I like it.
consistent and cohesive with the game world.
And on top of all of that, the in-game rune metrics functionality will be completely free for everyone this spring. This is part of a wider effort to make tooling more accessible and genuinely useful for all players.
That's very good. I like that a lot. A lot of these features are just free on old school RuneScape, so it feels weird that you'd have to pay for them on RuneScape 3.
These updates mark the start of the road to restoration and set the stage for a year of rebuilding, strengthening RuneScape's core experience. In February, we'll launch our Combat Modernization update. This will bring the 3 original combat styles into the modern age, building on the things that worked in our approach for necromancy and avoiding the bits that didn't. This update will make the styles more intuitive and easy to learn through experiential gameplay, with refined ability lists slowly introduced as you climb through the levels, and a simpler but deeper synergy between abilities. Throughout the year, we'll continue to make further improvements to combat as a whole. We'll have a full list of proposed changes in our supporting RuneScape Ahead blog, so be sure to take a look at the specifics after the show.
That's a really good, because I am a big fan of necromancy and how it feels very modern compared to the older, more clunky combat styles. Melee in particular in RuneScape 3 has so much ability bloat that you could probably remove half the abilities and you'd still be fine. There are the people who are very deep into the combat system and so far advanced into it that they use every single possible advantage they have. And these people will be losing out on something, obviously, no matter what changes they make. But it's just not a feasible system for 99% of people to use. Like, these people can find a use for literally anything, which is great, but it's not good for the complexity and overwhelming nature of how much option there is. Sometimes less is more, and I feel like that's definitely true for Melee.
Later on in February, our focus will shift to the early game experience with our first of many updates to rebalance the game. We'll be looking to tackle unneeded friction in those early levels by solving their root issues. Think catch rates on shrimps, pickpocketing stun chants, drop tables, and much more. We want skilling to feel simple, rewarding, and engaging, encouraging players to progress into the depths these skills have to offer as they get invested. We'll follow that with a similar update for the mid-game in summer and a late-game update in autumn.
There are some crazy ways to level up, and some things don't really make sense, so I'm glad that they're having an overall look on the balance of everything.
RuneScape is at its best when you are logging in because you want to play, as you forge your own path to achieve your goals. DailyScape is completely counter to what makes RuneScape RuneScape.
Yep.
In this update, we'll be taking a holistic look at all DailyScape systems, from shop stocks to Weeswax, to D&Ds, and even, yes, those hourly wildy events. We want RuneScape to be a game you enjoy playing for what it is, when you feel like it.
It feels like he's taking the thoughts in my head and putting them on the screen. I'll be honest, I do a lot of dailies myself, but I can say with 100% certainty that I don't enjoy a single second of DailyScape. It's just so strong that you feel you do it every day and then you can do whatever you want afterwards. I'd rather it just all be gone. So refreshing logging into old school RuneScape and just not having any of that there. I can just log in and be ready to do what I want to do. And obviously I don't have to do dailies, and I don't do many of them for that very specific reason. But if doing 20 minutes will save you 3 days worth of progress, you're obviously going to do that, right? It doesn't make logical sense not to do it. You'd rather put yourself through it than spend an extra 3 days.
And without a checklist of chores to complete.
Auras create a time pressure and a feeling of complexity with extra things you feel like you should consider in your setup before you start the task at hand. That's why this spring we intend to fully remove all auras while redistributing some of those benefits to the core game experience.
Okay.
No more aura refreshes, no more limited peak efficiency, just a more enjoyable gameplay loop.
I'm curious to learn more how they plan to add some of the aura effect into the game more naturally, but I like that change.
The Grand Exchange will also get some love as we set out to address your most desired features and improvements.
The Grand Exchange has needed an overhaul in, frankly, both old school and RuneScape 3 for a long time, so what are they planning to do exactly?
Will also get some love as we set out to address your most desired features and improvements. So we're going to get in there to improve things like how items update their price, buy limits, and more. And as we start development, we want to hear from you with what changes and improvements you'd like to see at the GE.
I would personally like to see a system where you can see a list of buy offers and alternatively sell offers, much like Guild Wars 2's system. In Guild Wars 2, you are presented with the trade tax, with the listing tax, and also you can see every single buy offer and sell offer an item has, so you know exactly what the margins are. That doesn't stop anyone from merchanting. It does make it easier to undercut and overcut people, but because there's a listing fee when you add an item, you don't necessarily want to keep removing and putting in an offer over and over again. You'd be losing a lot of money that way. Frankly, I think World of Warcraft might even have a similar system to Guild Wars 2 where you can see both buy and sell prices. I've never liked the way they hide what the offers are in the Grand Exchange, because merchants will find out the price regardless. It's just annoying for everyone else.
Finally, later this year, among many other Road to Restoration updates, we'll also improve our social systems through a dedicated update. While we're still working on our full design for this update, we want to improve the overall social experience by improving things like chat range, improvements to broadcasts for things like your collection log drops, and some clan-centric features that make socializing in RuneScape much stronger.
Okay, maybe we have one more thing. For many years, all of you have called for plugins, just like in old school RuneScape. Plugins empower the community to build tools, features, and functionality to enable unique experiences and take real control over how you interact with the game.
I absolutely love the plugin system in RuneLite on old school RuneScape, so seeing that they're even considering it for RuneScape 3 is fantastic. I have no clue how they'd implement it, but very excited about that.
Something you've told us could help RuneScape thrive. And as a result, we're investing in a new dedicated team of developers with one mission: to bring plugins to the RuneScape client before the end of 2026.
I really hope they succeed with that, because that would be huge.
To get this right, we need the very core of our design to enable talented developers within the community to do their best work. If you are one of those developers, we invite you to join the early stages of our plugin developer program today. Head to the Discord link below to apply for the program and help shape our systems to bring your ideas to life. Now, while we've removed many MTX items from sale in today's update, our ultimate ambition is to remove their presence in the game for good. At the end of the year, before we essentially make them obsolete, we'll give you the opportunity to get rid of any of them you haven't used. Here, we'll release other updates that replace the positive experiences these items could offer directly within the game.
One thing I'd like to see from this is a sort of identifier on an item that signalizes it's being removed, because it's really difficult filtering through all your items and like you're not sure if something is being deleted or not later. If they had a red outline or some kind of icon, like trash icon on them, just something to show that it is being removed so you want to process and use that item.
For example, what if, instead of having Slayer VIP coupons, you could just pick from 2 Slayer tasks?
As we move through the year, there will be continued improvements to unifying the visual identity of Gielinor.
All right, the deep clean. I was wondering what that was.
We'll declutter content from the world that doesn't stand up 25 years into this journey, while continuing our work to bring all of Gielinor up to the cohesive modern standard we've been establishing since 2020. That includes the player avatar refresh.
Yeah, let's go! This has been one of the things I'm most excited about they've ever announced, and then they just scrapped the whole project for a while. Put it over on the shelf, never to be seen again, you know? So happy to hear that it's back on the table.
And the best bit of all, we haven't even gotten to the new stuff. So let's start with Haven Hive.
New content?
So, what is Haven Hive?
Haven Heights is RuneScape's biggest area expansion yet. It's a massive stretch of land to the east of Mauritania, filled with new villages.
This doesn't look like Mauritania at all. No, I'm just joking. It's east of Mauritania, it's not in Mauritania. It looks awfully peaceful to be over there though. A new farming patch. How far east is it though? Is it an island? There's only water over there now.
Filled with new villages, stories,
Yeah, this is a lot of bones in this one.
people, adventures, encounters.
And a massive, bloodthirsty hedgehog. Can we talk about the Dreadhog yet?
No. Okay, moving on.
Okay.
Haven Hive was once home to a First Age civilization, and it's a landmass packed with lots of rich, layered history.
Back in the First Age, Haven Hive was home to a magical nexus, the birthplace of the Colossi, and a long dormant gateway to Vampirium itself.
But it's totally safe, and nothing will go wrong there.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
So what's Haven Hive's vibe?
Haven Heights has a really distinct feel to it. It's a land with a lot of life and people, a grounded and organic region filled with stories, oddities, and those smaller, familiar RuneScape moments.
Wait a second. The war guy in the boss hub looks exactly like those little guys.
RuneScape
Yeah, it's that guy. That's the war, all right.
But as you venture further beyond the village of Wendelwick, things
Looks pretty peaceful.
start to change.
The forest's thin, the air will grow colder, and as we expand Haven Heights throughout the year, you'll begin to feel that pull towards the east, where the region becomes more treacherous and vampiric. For now though, in part 1, it will be a living, breathing region that welcomes you in, while showing you some subtle hints of its darker side.
How do you get to Haven Hive?
So, it basically starts off.
Sailing. That's how you do it. New skill, sailing. Yeah, I don't know.
It basically starts off like any great story. A stranger offers you a free, experimental drink at a dodgy tavern.
And in your infinite wisdom, you take it, no questions asked. And let's just say things get a little trippy.
You'll start seeing things you probably shouldn't. And before long, you're on a boat, sailing towards a land that doesn't want to stay hidden anymore.
I was right about sailing, wrong about the skill. Moving on.
In part 1 of Haven Hive, there will be a series of new quests for you to dive into.
2 of which kick off Haven Hive's main storyline, where you hear of some strange rumours spreading through Wendelwick.
Rumours of a pale-skinned woman, long pointy ears, silver hair, sharp canines, red, hungry eyes.
She's a vampire, isn't she?
No comment.
The others are standalone quests that are full of
That rock is interesting. It stands out because it's kind of shaped maybe like a fox. I'm wondering if that might be the lodestone. It sort of looks like a lodestone, doesn't it? Easy teleport location.
fun little local stories that go beyond the core storyline to help familiarize yourselves with locals and their customs.
You know, the usual small town stuff. Neighbours, chores, and the odd crab problem.
What's the strangest thing in Havenhithe?
The Dreadhog.
The Dreadhog.
The Dreadhog.
This bloody hedgehog will be one of the 2 bosses available on launch of Havenhithe Part 1.
But it's so cute. Look at it. It wants to drink your blood.
Silverquill the Dreadhog is one of our brand new early game combat bosses.
She'll teach you a little more about telegraphed attacks and reading your opponent,
And if you can best the hog, you could just walk away with some of those silver spikes she's carrying.
which might just come in handy later on in your Havenhithe journey,
Okay.
given the vampires and all.
If you make it through that, you'll likely meet Ivar, the King of Bones, a massive hill giant with room temperature IQ.
He's another early game boss that will help you learn a little more about prayer flicking, and he may drop something a little more club-shaped too.
With these 2 early game bosses, we want to help bring bossing back to its roots, while easing any new and returning players into combat, preparing for what's to come, and closing that gap between early and end game bossing.
I mean, prayer flicking is fine. Like, it's in old school in RuneScape as well. Frankly, it's easier to do in RuneScape 3. Though you get less benefit out of it in RuneScape 3 because your prayer will always keep draining. In old school, you can basically have infinite prayer by prayer flicking. The problem really lies in that there's too many things to click at the same time if you're doing ability combat, prayer flicking, and movement at the same time. It's just, you get overloaded with things to do. Throw in some switchscape by having armor and weapon swaps, and suddenly you've got 4 things you're doing every second or 2. It's just too much. See if they can tone that down a little bit with their combat changes.
And for the completionists among you, there will still be drops, pets, and titles for you to unlock. Alongside these new combat bosses, we'll also be introducing a new early game Slayer creature called the Sanguine Crawlers.
Outside of combat, Havenhithe Part 1 will also have an extension to the Hunter skill, taking it to 110 with an expansion to the Big Game Hunter system.
Okay.
This time though, it's not all about tracking, it'll be about surviving. Giant creatures will be sniffing you out, and you'll need to find a way to gain the upper hand and take down the creatures.
By doing so, you'll get your hands on some loot, the best Hunter XP in the game, and those all-important materials needed to craft the new level 85 to 90 ranged armor.
Or the brand new Masterwork ranged armor.
Ooh.
On that as we get closer to release.
Well, that looks good. Tell me if I'm the only one, but I'm seeing some Pernix in this. Looks so much better than the Masterwork magic armor.
Beyond the hunt itself, there will be a load of other ways for you to train Hunter in Havenhithe, such as clockwork trapping.
You'll craft a bunch of mechanical birdhouses, place them across Havenhithe with bait, then return later to collect your catch.
They added birdhouses to RuneScape 3. Meanwhile, in old school, they're like, birdhouses is the worst thing we ever added to Hunter skill. And then here in RuneScape 3, they're like, you son of a gun, I want that. I don't know how I feel about that one, but okay, I guess we'll see how it goes.
Crafting these birdhouses uses logs from the latest 110 woodcutting update, from the most basic all the way through to eternal magic logs.
Each tier forming the base of a stronger trap.
And for those of you who prefer a more laid-back approach, clockwork box traps are also making their debut.
Last year, we talked about bringing in new integrity-focused ways to train that feel rewarding and grounded without relying on any MTX items. Clockwork box traps lean into that idea and are a new, efficient, fully craftable method available early enough to stay useful as you level.
They're designed to be a more relaxed training method, and one that fits neatly between each of your hunts.
Other things in the Hunter skilling update?
You didn't say what they do, though. Do they automatically untrap themselves? Like, did they automatically get placed onto the ground? I still have no idea what a clockwork box trap is.
Other things in the Hunter skilling update? Black Chinchompers.
Those are also from old school. I guess they'd just be a stronger version of red Chinchompas, right?
Anything else you want to say about Black Chinchompers?
Black Chinchompers.
You'll also start to notice some new jackalope faces hopping around in Part 1 of Havenhithe. They're a step up from rabbit snaring, making early game hunter much smoother and more enjoyable for players starting out.
So the Haven Height introductory quest must be relatively low level if there's all these early game skilling methods and bosses in the area. They're also going to have to rebalance Het's Oasis hunting because it blows everything out of the park. There's no reason to do anything else in the hunter skill because that specific spot will level you from level 1 hunter all the way to 99. There's no reason to go anywhere else at the moment. I wonder where they will introduce the character that takes you to Haven Height. They wouldn't put them in Mauritania, surely, because it's kind of far out there, right? They put them in Lumbridge, it might feel a little bit out of the blue.
And while we're at it, there'll be a new soil sifting archaeology familiar too.
Okay.
As you explore Haven Height, you'll meet new faces, lend a hand where it's needed, and earn achievements tied to the people and places you discover along the way.
And as you travel beyond Wendelwick, you'll start to uncover new resources never before seen in Gielinor, like red ivy, a slower depleting tree for relaxed wood cutting, and giant crayfish at level 82 fishing.
We like AFK.
Over the next year, Haven Height will continue to expand as we add more content to it.
With a new story quest later in the spring,
A new First Age archaeology dig site in the summer.
and a conclusion to Haven Hive's story with Part 2, releasing towards the end of 2026, where you'll also meet the Grazi Blood Knights in a brand new solo and duo combat boss encounter.
Ooh, exciting. I like the sound of that. I like group bosses, but not necessarily forced group bosses. If I can do it solo when I feel like it and also do it with a friend when I feel like it, that's like the perfect combination. Also, the Grazi Rapier is an old school RuneScape, so it's cool they've got a reference in RuneScape 3 now too.
We're super excited to bring Part 1 of Haven Height to life on the 23rd of March.
This is a big moment for RuneScape, and we want to mark the next step in our new chapter. We can't wait to drink that dodgy experimental drink and set sail to Haven Height, meet the people who live there, and make Haven Height your new home.
Well, I guess we won't be needing this anymore. Yes, it's true! Player Avatar is coming this April.
It sounds silly, but I'm the most excited about this. Our characters have looked ugly for so long.
For those of you who don't know, Player Avatar is a project we kicked off in 2021.
Through lots of community consultancy and live streams, we worked with you to develop a remastered visual look for your player avatar that feels true to your character as you know it today. After we discovered some technical limitations in 2022, we've been spending the last few years investing in technical upgrades that could help us make it possible.
Now, we're ready to get this modern, grounded avatar into your hands over the course of multiple updates.
Our first update, in April, will lay the foundation in a new base avatar, updated hairstyles and facial hair options, plus newly updated base clothes.
Exciting.
These models have been further refined since you last saw them, with slimmer profiles that more closely align with today's player avatar.
We'll also be improving the quality of the chat heads, including chat head animations.
And we'll be looking for your feedback to help prioritize our future releases happening throughout the year. From which items or cosmetics we should update first, through to NPCs you'd like to see brought up to this standard. Look out for a survey this April to reshape the future of the player avatar refresh.
Finally, we know that some of our modern outfits have sometimes felt like they have an odd shine to them, or maybe look a little bit too flat or too smooth in certain environments, while compared to the older, grainier textures. As part of the road to restoration later this year, we'll be rolling out rendering updates to begin to address this. And as we move through 2026, we'll keep fine-tuning and improving the look and feel of your character until we get it just right.
Look out for the first stage of the player avatar refresh this April.
Cool. Very happy about that.
It's been a long time coming, but later this summer, we're bringing new life to the player-owned house. The player-owned house...
What? That was right out of left field. I had no clue that was coming. It badly needs it.
The player-owned house has been part of RuneScape since 2006, almost 20 years ago. And while the game has grown quite a lot since, the player-owned house has stayed largely the same. This year, we want to change that and give player-owned housing the attention it truly deserves.
With this update, our goal is to make housing feel more connected to Gielinor again and create a space that feels personal, welcoming and worth visiting, whether it's your house or a friend's. you'll be able to have a whole new level of control over your home.
There's some gorgeous pieces of furniture here.
With more ways to personalize, design, and shape your space exactly.
Oh, magic drawers as well. Frankly, I thought they were scared to touch player-owned housing because it's such a mess of code. The fact that 6 months from now there could be changes to it blows my mind a bit. And this is a great announcement, but I kind of just want to see it in the flesh before I really get excited because I don't want to be let down. I'm a little bit cautiously optimistic about this one. How crazy are we talking about customizations here? Because this looks gorgeous, but how will it translate in game?
Personalize, design, and shape your space exactly how you want it, down to the finer details.
And we'll be giving construction a skill increase to 122.
We're also introducing a new recipe system that allows you to unlock and build furniture inspired by your past, present, and future.
A frog eel chair. Hell yeah, man. A friend of mine is going to be so excited about that.
And future adventures.
Imagine taking down a boss and proudly displaying a trophy from that battle right in your own home. Or even completing a quest and having a keepsake as a reminder of the adventure.
Is that a reference to the jars of various things you can get in old school and display in your house? Old school RuneScape has done a phenomenal job with player-owned housing. So it's exciting that they want to push that into RuneScape 3 as well. Housing has been very abandoned in RuneScape 3 for a long time. There's just better ways of doing everything than visiting your house.
Through the new recipe system, our goal is simple: to make your home a living reflection of the path you've taken.
It feels like they've completely rewritten the way construction works, though, if there's a recipe system.
The memories you've made and the victories you've earned.
Part of this update is also about bringing back that social spark and the joy of showing off your home, inviting friends over, and maybe even hosting the occasional house party.
And don't worry, we've learned a thing or two since that other big house party. This update is about giving the player-owned house a much stronger purpose again, and a place for creativity, pride, and connection, making it feel like a true part of your RuneScape journey. We're still in early design at the moment, so we would love to hear what you would like to see from player-owned housing. We can't wait to share more as we get closer to launch, and to take that journey together with you.
That is exciting.
After everything we've talked about today, there's still plenty more to come this year.
In the spring, you'll be able to jump into a brand new standalone quest. It's a fluffy adventure and a spiritual successor to Gertrude's Cat. Think Lady and the Tramp meets Fort Forestry, just more fur. In autumn, we'll release another standalone quest. It's something a little different, but still true to our roots.
We're also bringing in remastered content updates at the end of spring, and again in autumn, as we revisit some classic pieces of content. More on exactly what this involves and what content we'll remaster later this year.
And of course, we'll have seasonal events throughout the year with a focus on stronger game integrity and quick ways to drop in, take part, and leave with a fancy reward.
And finally, in October, RuneFest is back. We can't wait to see all of you in person and share more content reveals for 2027. Now, you're probably thinking, when are they going to drop their typical, but wait, there's one more thing moment? So, without further ado, let's end the show on one final thing. That's right, Leagues is coming back to...
There's gonna be another already?
After the incredible response from all of you in our first ever league, we're taking everything we've learned and we're pushing this one step further with Leagues 2.
But aren't Old School doing the league this year? I'm pretty sure they had a demon-themed one scheduled. They haven't announced the date for that yet, but there's gonna be a lot of League this year in that case.
This time, it'll be bigger, faster, and basically even more busted.
There's going to be new, overpowered relics, new tasks and challenges, new rewards, all with a brand new Leagues twist that will completely flip RuneScape on its head.
I really enjoyed the previous league. There was a lot of issues with it, especially with pacing towards the end and some pacing towards the beginning, but they fixed that relatively fast. It'd be cool to see what they do for this one.
We also heard your feedback from the Catalyst League, and with Leagues 2, progression will be even faster, as we want you jumping into the madness right away.
We're talking more auto-completed quests, earlier combat relics, a much smoother climb through the tiers, and relics will be way more overpowered than before.
Great.
We hope you've enjoyed everything we've shown today.
And that's a wrap. Oh, I really like that image. I was right. They've got a new banner on X. They've got a new logo. Looking very fresh. I like it. If we go to the main page, new banner. They've got the content roadmap up. I'm very curious what this is. This is a concept art for the new hunter training method in Haven Heights. Oh, the launcher has a new loading screen. That's cool. They've got the brown bit there too. They've really just reskinned everything, haven't they? New login screen. Everything is brown now. It's going to take some getting used to, but I generally like it. Okay, let's have a look. What's this look like now? So my interface still has the same layout. I still have the square mini map. I do like the color scheme. The settings menu is still a lot, but maybe it's more organized now. You can still add and remove the text above the interfaces. You've got modern and classic interface loadouts. So classic changes the interface to be more simplistic. So inventory has its own slot, and then you can have an additional one next to it, it seems like. Yeah, so nothing ever overrides your inventory slot. That also gives you the round minimap back again, which lets you zoom in and out. There's a little part of me that wishes that health and prayer were orbs up here as well. I believe old school has that. Obviously, we've got 11,000 health, so that might be a little bit difficult to display that up there, obviously. Prayer wouldn't be a problem though. You can swap between square and circle minimap style. So that kind of clashes with my interface at the moment. Chat style changes between modern and classic. It simply adds the extra buttons down here from old school. Map icons are modern or classic. Oh, you can get the old school icons? That's cute. You know what? I'm gonna go with the classic icons. And I think I'm gonna add classic chat style as well. I quite like it. I might keep the square minimap though. I have gotten accustomed to it and I feel like I can see more space with it. You can choose between no transparency, medium transparency, and maximum transparency. I've never been a fan of transparency though, so I'll keep it like this. The new bank. I feel like it looks really dark at the moment. I don't know if that's something I can change or not. In old school, the brown background is lighter. I'm having a hard time seeing some of these items. So the right-clicking on items menu I think is still the same as before, but hovering over items is new. You can tell it's old because it has a white border around it, whereas the new has a brown border around it. I like the new one. At the bottom, they've added 3+ options. So there's eat, drop, and examine the 3 options, and use is not. Curious addition. I don't really have an opinion on it. There are 2 things I'm not excited about. I haven't found a way to turn this off. Normally I don't play with the clock on, and I'd rather have the space for more map. Also the arrow keys to swap quickly between action bars, like go from 3 to 2 or 3 to 4, those buttons are gone. It's not often I would use those to swap, but I would sometimes use them to swap between very similar looking action bars mid-combat. Hopefully more people feel this way so we can get some changes. There's a new marketplace option that popped up. You can now buy Assassin's Walk for 450 coins. You can buy Pestilent Torva for 630 coins. I don't know what a coin is worth. Pestilent Torva was a loot box exclusive item. Highwayman. All of these were loot box exclusive before. Gilded Rune Armor, Sardomin, Frozen Escape is 360. A lot of overrides, cosmetics, keepsake keys are in here. Bank space upgrades. Radiant Stars. Redeemed in a skill for bonus experience. Scales to the current level of your skill. There's a bonus XP table here, so it tells you how much you get at each level. You get a lot at 99, wow. You get 4 Radiant Stars with this. It doesn't say how much it costs. So clicking buy takes you to the website. So buying 4 small Radiant Star packs, 60, which is like $5 or $6, something around there. So like $6 for 500k XP, like 100k XP per dollar-ish. Though it's bonus XP, so it means you have to train the skill to redeem the experience into your skill. I do like the organization they've got here. They've got services, pets, animations, outfits, bundles. I wish it said in your local currency how much each of these was worth. Anniversary Adventurer Bundle, Armor and Kite Shield. I like the direction this armor set is going in. It's a good attention to detail. It looks like it fits into the universe of RuneScape. It's not purple, so it's not my color scheme, but I like the direction. Comes with a plate skirt option. You get a sword with it. You get a little armored pet with a RuneScape 25 flag. And Anniversary Adventurer titles next to your name in the chat. You've got bond bundles. You can buy rune coins, membership, and bank space. I like this marketplace a lot more than what it looked like before. It's far more organized. I hope they continue adding to it. Previous marketplace had a horrible UI as well. It was just one long scrolling page. Not even downwards, it was horizontal, like you'd scroll sideways to go along it. Far better this way, I like it. If you want to change your cosmetic override options, you can find that in additional options. I feel like maybe it should be in graphics, but I understand why it's not as well. This option's coming later this year. Hide other players' worn customizations and hide other players' animation customizations. It's nice that those are separate. It also seems to mainly be other players. So if I tick that on, it hasn't changed my own look. Equally so if I turn that off, it wants me to re-log into the world to properly apply the changes. So my own cosmetics are still on for me, but they shouldn't be on for anyone else now. And yeah, both of these people are wearing armor now. Level 95 armor and hybrid armor. But it allows me to keep my cosmetics on for myself. And that's really cool. Obviously, if they turned off the cosmetics on their side, they would see me in my base armor as well. And who said you can't look cool without cosmetics?